Welcome back. You're watching Road to Success, the key to your next level in business. Our consultant on this segment is Mr. David Tanki from Lanex Africa. Welcome to the show, David.
Thank you.
Today we're talking about goods and services made in Kenya. So maybe we can define who we are talking to, and when we say made in Kenya, what do we mean?
Interesting, Anne, that you are asking me about that when I've just read an email that is in circulation that was talking about why aren't there jobs in Kenya? And the writer of the email said, you are putting on a dress made in Indonesia, sitting in a seat coming from China, and cooking using utensils that have come from Turkey. I think really the focus should be, how do we encourage enterprises, how do we encourage businesses, how do we encourage innovations, so that Kenyans can come up with products that can be able to compete effectively with other products that are coming from outside.
What would you say are the barriers?
One is technology. We are still coming up in our technology. We are not yet advanced, but we are getting there. When you look at the production processes that we employ are still very inferior. When you look at power, electricity. And then there is what I can sum up as social poverty. And the mindset of the Kenyan person is heavily skewed towards outside, not inside. Like what Mutua came up with, Najivunia kuwa Mkenya. We need to be able to drive Kenyans to love Kenyan products and encourage Kenyans to buy Kenyan products, so that the entrepreneur who is doing something at that small level is encouraged because he will get a buyer for his products.
What kind of advice or tips can you give to entrepreneurs?
First, every Kenyan should know that really there is nothing new. If you put your hands to do something, make sure that you do the best you can. If you're making furniture, do it as though even if the Queen of England sees it, she will appreciate it and she will want to go with it to England. Number two is branding. Any product that someone comes up with should be branded and patented, so that once you brands gives a product identity, and that identity is what actually causes it to be talked about and causes people to buy it. But that identity must be patented, so that nobody else can be able to run with it, the way we've seen some of our products like Kikoi, like the Kiondo and a number of others.
Tanki, I'm wondering if we're also our own enemies, because a lot of people that I have met who produce local stuff don't actually consume them themselves, and so it doesn't give me the confidence to buy it.
Yeah, that's very true. And there is a saying which is very common in this part of the world that says that a furniture maker doesn't actually have furniture in his house. If we go for our own, if the people who make these things actually become brand ambassadors for those products that they make or the services they create, then it will create more confidence to other people.
David, is there a real business in pursuing the way of local products versus importing, when we're now talking about profit?
And there is business whichever way you look at it. If we can consume, it means somebody else can also consume from somewhere. Sure. If we are going out to India or whichever other country to bring these products, then it means people are in need of it. The only thing is, why are we going to bring it from outside? It is because it is cheaper there. Mm-hmm. Why wouldn't ours be cheaper? It may be because of the cost of materials. It may be because of the production system we employ. It may be because of our distribution system. Now, why can't we work on those factors so that we can be able to change it and make it competitive? And then we can look at Dubai. And Dubai survives through selling with very thin margins, but they push volumes. Now, if we discover that we may not be able to, our prices are not very good, and therefore we may not be able to compete as much, why don't we go with small margins and we work on our production so that we can go for volume business, and we make little but in huge volumes, and we end up making the same amounts. We need to re-engineer ourselves as Kenyans. What I will call human factor engineering. We need to work on our mindset. We need to work on our philosophy of business, our philosophy of living, our philosophy in terms of our culture, so that we treasure made in Kenya than coming from outside.
David Tanki, always a pleasure having you on the show. Thank you so much for coming to share your wisdom with us. It's a pleasure.
Asante.
You've been watching Road to Success, the key to your next level in business. We want to encourage you to buy Kenya so that you can build Kenya. And if you're a business person with a great idea that is local, go for it. There is a market out there for you. Have a great week and God bless.
Road to Success is brought to you by Equity Bank.
Equity Bank, your listening caring partner.